Hi, folks. Welcome to The Way I See It, which is my podcast on all things money, finance, and the economy. So, the Central Bank of Nigeria is set to launch the eNaira on October the 1st, 2021. So, let's take a closer look at the eNaira, what it means, and how we can take advantage of it and all that, right? So, first things first, what's the eNaira? Well, the eNaira or the electronic naira is just a digital representation of the paper naira currency. It's not exactly a cryptocurrency, it's a central bank backed currency, digital currency, and it's going to be a complementary legal tender in Nigeria. This means that it can be used to settle all debts and do transactions in Nigeria, just as the paper naira currency that we all have. It will have the same exchange value as the paper naira, and it will maintain a parity of value with the naira as well. So which means if you have one eNaira, you have one paper fiat. Yeah, no difference. The eNaira will also not earn any interest, right? So if you have paper naira in the bank and an interest and you get the eNaira, you will earn no interest. Just keep that in mind, right? So what's the main difference? So well, the eNaira is built on the blockchain open technology, right? So it's on the blockchain enabled token or wallet. That's more or less a wallet. And so you can have a duplicate, you can have a fake, everyone's going to be unique. So it's a bit more, more safer in quote. It can't be duplicated or forged, right? Okay. So is the eNaira a stable currency? Well, a stable currency is a cryptocurrency that is backed by reserves. The key thing here is reserves. The reserves could be US dollars, it could be a basket of currencies, it could be gold, but it has to be backed up by reserves. The eNaira is backed up 100% by Naira, right? Not by dollars, just by Naira. So the question is, do you consider Naira stable? If the Naira is stable, then yeah, you could say it's a stable currency. But technically, I know what you're asking. It's not exactly stable because it's going to be backed up by the same Naira, right? It's not going to be backed up by the reserves of Nigeria and all that. So I wouldn't call it an stable coin. I wouldn't do that, yeah. So how safe is the eNaira? Well, it's safer than, sending money. Let's look at it this way. If you were going to send 100 Naira to your uncle in the village, how would you do it? A common way is to buy a mobile recharge card and then take the number of the recharge card and then send it via your mobile phone to your uncle in the village, especially if your uncle has no bank in his village. Your uncle will get the recharge card, take it to a phone vendor, and convert those numbers for cash. That's what most people do, right? But it gets a bit tricky if the guy he's trying to convert the phone digits to cash for doesn't know him. How can he verify that that number is real? So he has to go to the same person I pretend that might know him that can say, okay, I know you, I'm going to buy these digits from you for discounted cash. With the eNaira, it's a lot safer because all you have to do is just go to your bank, convert your fiat naira to eNaira, transfer to your uncle in the village. Your uncle in the village can go to anybody and sell the eNaira to redeem for cash, as it were. You can go to a small vendor, a bank, a trader, anyone, because they know it's safer. It's a blockchain-enabled currency. They can download and give him full value for his cash. On the spot. So it's a bit not just safer, it's a bit more efficient and all that. It makes transactions a bit easier for everyone, right? How will you get the eNaira? I think the way CBN is going to roll this out is that the CBN is going to roll out the currency. Then your banks, you can go to your banks and then you can create a wallet or apply for the eNaira via your bank. And then your bank gets it from CBN and then it gives it to you. That's the way it's going to operate. If you need more, if you need, say, less than 50,000 a day, if you're going to do a transaction value is going to be less than 50,000 naira a day, you don't need a bank account per se. You can simply just use NIN verified phone number and you can buy the eNaira from any bank. So you don't need to open a bank account to use the eNaira. So that's pretty good, right? But if you want to do transactions up to 1 million naira, then you have to have a bank account with BVN and of course an NIN verified phone number. So very, very strict Know Your Customer protocols that CBN is instituting, right? But that you don't need a bank account is a very, very good feature of the eNaira. So why should you use the eNaira? I think the main thing I see here is the low cost advantage when compared to using Naira. Number one, if you did a transfer with the eNaira, there are no costs to you. So you can transfer money from yourself to your uncle. You don't pay any transfer fees. So that's going to be a big, big cost. Imagine if you're on the market as well and you're trying to buy or sell, you could receive or send also without a cost to you. You don't have to pay for security, to count money, all that kind of stuff. You can sell instantly, get transfers instantly with no cost. So there's a big advantage there in terms of cost, productivity, and utility for you if you do use the eNaira. Also, if you're remitting money from the abroad back to Nigeria, instead of going to your bank to getting dollars and sending, say, through an international money transfer agency and paying a huge fee, you could buy the eNaira and just send it to your wallet of the person back home in Nigeria. You don't pay any cost for that. So big, big savings there for you. But I particularly like the fact that you can now eliminate this need to round up to the highest figure. What I mean is that Nigeria, for now, doesn't have a lot of coins. You go to a shop, you really don't get coins. So what everyone does is to round up the cost or the selling price of products to a nearest round number. So if eggs cost, say, 8 Naira, it's going to be sold for, say, 10 Naira because I know 2 Naira coins. But with the eNaira, you can sell exactly at the cost or exactly at the selling price. And you don't have to have this artificial inflation just taking up prices because you don't have coins. So that's also a good thing. It's small, but it does help to curtail those little price increases. So I think eNaira is good for transfers, no low cost. It's very productive. It introduces utility. I also like the fact that you don't need a bank account to get it. So that means lots of financially excluded Nigerians can now get into the formal banking network. They just go, they can get paid, for instance. So if you're a plumber and you do the job for, say, 2,000 Naira, you can just go to the bank and either you buy eNaira credits or the person pays you eNaira credits, and you can use that to do your transactions or pay for goods and services without actually opening a bank account, but you're in a formal space. So that's also good. But I also think that the Nigerian government should also try to push the eNaira also to ECOWAS, that's the Economic Community of West African States. Nigeria is uniquely advantaged because we have banks like UBA, GTB, that is in countries in West Africa. So if we could also push the eNaira to those countries via the Nigerian banks, you would then see traders in the Gambia settling transactions with traders in, say, Burkina Faso. And then that becomes a way for international and intercontinental trade, especially with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement that has been signed. If Nigeria can get an early start to get the eNaira adopted, as a reserve currency to settle transactions, then that gives it a big, big advantage going forward in that. So I would like to see us think large in that aspect to get the eNaira to become the settlement currency, settlement e-currency for the ECOWAS sub-region. I think we can do that, and it's going to give us good advantages going forward. What are the risks? Well, it's online, so it can be maybe hacked. Your phones become your bank now. So what if your phone is stolen? Do I have access to your bank accounts and all that? So I think those are the risks that we're going to see. But those risks exist now, so they're not going to be news. But I think there's going to be a bit more security now that we do have this eNaira on our phones. I would say the key thing for me, with the optimism for me, is this. The first stage is easy. CBN launches the eNaira wallets. The banks have it. The banks sell to you. Is a third route that I'm a bit more excited about. When the fintech guys grab a hold of this, they can start to see apps say you can use eNaira to pay your rent. You can use eNaira to do this or eNaira to do that. That's what we see the real advantage. So I'm very, very positive that that's going to come to pass, and we're going to see the linkages of fintech and banking with the eNaira. Okay, thank you guys. Keep following FinPlan Kaluaja1. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you all next week. Take care.